Hey,
how's that for quick? Which
I like it.
My wife says that almost every night, so it's fine.
Like, come on, don't do me like that.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
As long as it's an enjoyable time, though.
It's a
you know
curse.
what I mean?
You know what? It's the best 14 seconds she's going to get.
Hey, fuck it.
Bless her heart. Fuck it. Then she goes back on TikTok. So I think
do both. She gets sad and then go back to
being with me in bed versus a TikTok video. What's longer? I don't know. Sometimes I'm like,
TikTok
honey,
videos are getting long now. They're like a minute and a half.
Baby,
So
don't even put it on pause. It's okay. I'll be done quick.
just
really.
keep it rolling.
I'll just yell my own name. I'm an only child narcissist. Me. So
you are good at this.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're talking before about it is a challenge. Podcasting is, everyone thinks they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you can't. You just can't do it. And so people, it's getting guests.
Uh-huh.
And then it's having guests come in and just be vulnerable. Just be you. I'm not TMZ. I'm not going to motherfuck you. I'm not a gotcha guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, let's talk. Let's talk about stuff you've never talked about before.
Yeah.
That you'd had in here.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to earn that right.
For sure.
Right?
For sure. Someone has to feel comfortable to kind of like let themselves be vulnerable around you. You know what I'm saying? But I think you do a good job with that.
Thank you.
The self-deprecating thing. It does.
Jesus. Well, I'm from New York, so that's just...
so am I.
All right, right on.
What part?
Born in Manhattan, in Lenox Hill, but then most of my life, Western New York, the Finger Lakes region, Canandaigua Lake,
gotcha.
south of Rochester.
Okay. So upstate.
Upstate.
Gotcha. Okay. Queens mostly, like
Far
Rockaway, Edgemere, then moved to like Astoria, Woodside, and then Astoria.
My dad's from Astoria.
Nice. Okay.
3216 Crescent Street.
Dope.
Yep. Right down, like 2 blocks away from Christopher Walken, the actor's family had a bakery.
Okay.
Walken Bakery.
Yeah.
It was like 2 blocks away from my dad's house. He grew up going there.
Okay.
So that's hilarious.
That's pretty dope.
Small world, man. Small world. It is.
It ended up in Vegas.
And here we are in Vegas, like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's something. There's a lot of, I'm going to say this, you're going to fucking laugh, but it's true, all right? We have a lot of similarities.
Okay.
Not physically. I'm your before picture. I'm a Wonder Bread white before
maybe
picture.
Past life.
Past life before birth. I'm your fucking nightmares. I'm when you don't, like, I'm when you skip like a year of working out and just go all carbs. This is what you're going to look like.
For sure.
You know, and lose your hair, oily T-zone, the whole fucking thing.
God damn.
But it's a vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get up on stage, there's a vulnerability there, Kai, right?
Indeed.
I'd love to talk about that a little bit. Like the first time you went up on stage as a professional bodybuilder. As a professional.
Gotcha, okay.
Like where there's other people there, there's judges literally judging you, but also other people are looking at you. Walk me through that. Like, how did that feel? How long ago was it? Where was it? The whole thing?
Oh, actually, okay. So it was 2017. My first pro show was in Sacramento. And it was literally a week after I went pro. So I did the USAs that was out here, and I went pro. And then my coach said, we're gonna fucking put you inside of a pro show off the rip. Now, for me, obviously happy that I went pro, but definitely didn't think I was ready for the pro leagues. You know what I'm saying? So like going there with kind of doubts in my mind, but at the same time knowing that I did the work. And in my mind, I was like, I'm just going to see where I stack up. I'm not looking to win, but I ended up winning that show. You know what I'm saying? So like that was my first lesson in just believing in yourself, obviously. But I know walking into it had a lot of doubts because you feel, okay, I'm not big enough. I feel like I'm straight enough. These guys have been doing this for a long time. So I might get washed, but you know what I'm saying? But it was one of those times where things worked out. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me about emotionally, if you can go back to that 2017 in Sacramento, as you're walking out on the stage. Like, what were the size of the butterflies in your stomach?
Okay. So for sure I don't want to call it performance anxiety, but it's just like that surge of energy, you get when you have to perform. So you think it's nervousness, but what I've started to like realize is like, that's just kind of like the universe, like making you aware that you have to like put on, you have to perform at that point. So like a lot of times I shuffle a lot of times, like I'll like tap my foot or just kind of like shuffle from one leg to the next. And like, that's what I always do before I hop on stage. So that was the feeling that I had. As I felt like I was prepared because I did work on my posing. I felt like my physique was where it needed to be as far as like conditioning wise, you know what I'm saying? But just every time I go on stage, I always shuffle before I get on there.
Is that like your tell that you're nervous as you shuffle?
Yeah. But for me, I feel like that, and I also start to like, I try to do it not so loud, but I kind of like let out like, you know what I'm saying? Just because like I know it's so much energy, just kind of like let it out somehow. So I do that like while like walking up the steps to the stage, and then just shuffle right before they call my name. You know what I mean?
Do you still shuffle?
I think I still do.
All these years later,
I haven't competed in like a year and a half now, but yeah, definitely still shuffle. Definitely still shuffle.
What is it that, if you're not competing anymore, what is it that still drives you to such a elite level of fitness to keep yourself in such amazing shape?
I think for me, like I've realized, like if I don't go to the gym for like 2 or 3 days, then like mentally I start to feel like I know how to mitigate these feelings, but like this feeling of hopelessness, this feeling of like, I can tell that my body needs those endorphins. There's something that's released in your body when you work out, and I know that I need that. So that's one of the things that kind of keep me going to the gym. And also like I've developed a look for myself. I've developed like a look that I feel comfortable in, who I feel like myself. So I know I need to maintain that. If you spend so many years like getting your physique to that level, you don't want to let it slide at all. You don't want to like not look like who you are. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's definitely a big motivator for me.
David Goggins calls it your inner bitch.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. That.
He calls it your inner bitch. And it's that voice that says, sleep in today.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, you're at Walgreens? Oh, it's 2 for 1 Snickers bars. Oh, you could justify that.
Yeah.
They're cheaper. You know, it's like, it's your inner bitch that is. And so for those of you watching at home, I'm what happens when you listen to your inner bitch, or when you listen, and Kai is when you don't listen to your inner bitch.
See, I want to challenge that a little bit. Like,
all right,
I feel like you direct your energy into this. You know what I'm saying? The day that you don't want to do it, the day that you don't want to like talk to guests or whatnot, and you still force yourself to do it. So like, I feel like you got your little bit, your inner bitch under control
you're a good
too.
Man. You're
you know
good.
What I'm saying?
I will give myself grace. And
for sure.
And full disclosure, when we're done here, I'm off to EOS Fitness with my daughter, and we go work out together.
Good shit.
She's 15 years old. She'll be 16 this month, and we spend good time. It's hilarious because I'm Gen X. I'm listening to like Metallica and all this wild shit. She's listening to like Broadway show tunes and Sinatra.
Okay. That's different.
She's great. I know.
That's different, yeah.
I know. And she's 15. Great kid.
Is she into like theater and stuff like that? Oh, gotcha.
She goes to LVA here, and she goes to a performing arts high school here in town.
Well, there you go.
She's a theater kid. But it's cool because we bring my son. He goes in the kids academy, and we're there 3 or 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And we do our workouts, and I love it because like I've got this giant fucking tattoo, and thank you, Young for Life, for my swag I'm wearing today.
Hey, okay.
But usually I wear a sleeveless, Fargo Talks shirt, and I get more people are like, dude, that Tree of Life tattoo, whatever. I'm like, thank you. I'm just trying to get a mild tricep pump here.
Yeah,
please,
that's it.
Please.
Make it pop out, make it more 3D.
Please, I'm trying. I'll go to my daughter. I go, honey, look, the donkey from Shrek gave me a little kick right here. Take a look. Look at
a little swollen there.
Donkey cocked me, got me right there. But it's something that I think we all have. A buddy of mine told us years ago. We all have something that we're good at.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
It could be making milkshakes. It could be podcasting. It could be, bodybuilding. We all have something that we're good at. It's how motivated are you to pursue that greatness you have inside of you?
Yeah.
Is that something that you find yourself tapping into every day?
Okay, every day, definitely not every day. There's times where I kind of intentionally give myself some time to relax and to allow myself to like dabble into some chaos a little bit. We're in Vegas, so I allow myself that, but I know that it's a pursuit that stays with me because it's always in the back of my mind. Like I can be better, I can do better. There's a lot inside me that I haven't let out yet. So like that definitely something that kind of drives me. Not every day, but often enough. You know what I'm saying? Often enough.
What is your go-to cheat meal? If you're going off the reservation,
just going crazy,
and you're going ham, what is it that you're going to eat?
Okay, so it's shifted over the years. Like before, it used to be wings. Like it don't matter where I went, I want to try their wings. Then it goes to like burgers sometimes, and I feel like burgers came about because of bodybuilding. Like for a cheat meal, burgers are always authorized, but also pizza. Pizza's like my lazy day. I'm like, it can sit right there. You go grab a slice, go sit back down. It's like it's a cheat meal that can last all day. You know what I'm saying?
So where in Vegas? Like, where's your favorite place for pizza?
You're not gonna like this.
And what do you get on the pizza?
Okay, so me, it's pineapple and pepperoni. I wasn't a big fan of the pineapple until I got with my lady. She's big on the pineapple, but we got a Pizza Hut.
That's okay.
We keep it real simple, yeah.
You know what's funny is that I had Pizza Hut here with my kids, with Scott Vera, owner of Level 9 Studios. Shout out Level 9.
Hey.
And we were doing back-to-back content shoots that day. I had a content shoot with a client, and then a pause, and then a podcast episode was with my kids, and Scott bought us Pizza Hut pizza.
Nice.
And I'm like, whatever. I'm thankful for our friendship, and then he fed us.
Yeah.
The pizza was good.
It's good pizza. It's really good pizza, honestly.
So now my kids call Scott Vera Uncle Pizza.
Okay.
That's now his name.
Correlation.
Correlation is a pizza. So now they now refer to, whenever I say, hey, I'm going to shoot a podcast. Oh, you gonna go see Uncle Pizza? Yeah. I'm going to see Uncle Pizza.
Nice.
Which is hilarious because he is a fit man that does not look like he'd be called Uncle Pizza. At all. I would be called like Grandpa Milkshake if he's Uncle Pizza. I don't get it, but okay, whatever. Talk to me a little bit about, you coach, you mentor. Mm-hmm. I want to really talk about that. Like,
absolutely.
What motivated you to do it? And what are some of the big challenges that your clients face that, like, repeatedly that you're helping them get over? And how do you do that? How do you help them get over it?
Okay. So what motivated me to coach is I feel like I feel like I'm a good teacher. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I can perform really well, but I can connect with people. Most of the time, it's like one-on-one. I can connect really well with people, and I think that lends well to coaching. I feel like I've been able to like walk this path and do it in a certain way that I can help other people do it. Because I feel like when it comes to coaching, bodybuilding coaching, there's like the physical aspect of it. There's the eating the meals, and I feel like people can adjust to that. Really, it takes some discipline, but people can adjust to that pretty easily. But there's also the other like intangible things that pop up, like mitigating your energy from day to day, like the challenges that come up against you, like how to deal with that and still kind of like still pursue what you're going after. I feel like that's something that I leaned into heavily when it came to like my competing journey. Like I understood the training, the diet, but I've always been kind of like attached like the energetic part. And like making sure your energy centers are aligned and things of that nature. And I feel like that lends so much to bodybuilding. I feel like it's not looked at as much. So that's what I kind of like, I enforce on my clients a lot. Just like making sure like their energy is good and make sure that they're using the modalities like breath work and like yoga to make sure like they're firing on all cylinders. I feel like when a person adds that other component to it, it can make their physique look so much better. It makes their energy look so much better. Like they got a different light in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing that I want to like bring to my clients.
I'm 55, and if somebody was to ask me, they always go, hey, what would you tell your 21-year-old self or some horse shit? You know, fuck you, I'm not a crystal ball. Yeah. But I would tell myself yoga.
Absolutely.
Yin yoga. Again, I don't do that like gallon of water, 108 degrees. I've tried it. Hell no.
Yeah.
My days of doing handstands and headstands are gone, but a nice, relaxing yin yoga with the ballisters and the stretching straps you've got and all that. Kai, you walk out of there and it's like you're walking a foot above the ground. You're centered.
Yes, absolutely.
No electronics. Take your fucking watch off. Like all that's just gone. And it's just the teacher telling you what to do and a mantra and breath work. Right?
Yes, indeed.
Like,
yes, indeed.
That's something that I think a lot of us, especially as we get older, it's like, you got to stretch.
Yes.
You got to stretch. And I'm paying for it now, but I'm doing my best. I'm fighting that fucking fight all I can.
And I feel like our bodies are such that we could bounce back. If you like take the time to like stretch out your fascia and put that intentional energy into like making sure that's healthy, you can bounce back. You can get that flexibility back. You can get that vitality back. You know what I'm saying? So it's never too late at all.
What do you think the biggest contributor of negative energy is to somebody? Like a distractor from making themselves better?
I feel like people's environment. I feel like the environment is key. Like the people that you're around, like even the environment around you. If you're not around enough nature, you're just around fucking cars and like people and a bunch of electricity, like electronics, not electricity, a bunch of electronics that could hinder you so much. And it's something that like it could get overlooked. You know what I'm saying? Because like we a lot of times the environments that we put ourselves in are because of convenience or because of like, can you afford this area? So like that's one of those things that we have to like work hard to put ourselves in a good environment. You know what I mean?
People, it's this.
Oh, yes. Oh, for sure.
It's this and that. If you look at how often you're on there every day, and some people it's hours.
Yeah.
Multiple hours a day, and you're just looking for that dopamine hit. Or you're doom scrolling on TikTok or on Facebook or whatever, and you're just like, oh my God.
And I feel like you can sometimes feel that it's like pulling your energy. You know what I'm saying? You can feel that shit like why am I still doing this? Like
it's this small, slow siphoning, the sucking sound of your aura.
Yes.
Going into that piece of electronics.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Right? And it is something that I'm blessed that my wife is she's old school. She's from Northern Georgia. She can cook like it's no one's business.
That's what's up.
Literally every night we sit at the table for dinner, and whether and there's no electronics.
That's
if my kids are there, like if we have a full house, there's my daughter who's 15, my son who's 9, my stepdaughter who's 16. We've got 5 of us there. There's no phones. There's no iPads. There's no binging and whistling and everything else. There's no TV. It's off. We're sitting there having a meal together. And
I feel like that probably does so much for you guys, like connection, your energy. That's a good. You should never abandon that habit. Never abandon that.
And we really don't. We're really, knock on wood, we really stick to it.
Yeah.
But I love that it's the physical things that people need. Like stretching is huge. Like you can go in there and throw a bunch of weight around and all that and see gains.
Yeah.
But if you want long-term holistic benefits to the core of who you are, you got to stretch.
For sure.
And you got to do breath work, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And do you think that's the number one thing your clientele needs, is working on?
Absolutely. Because like I said, the physical part, the diet, the working out, people can do that. People like that shows you a quick return, you know what I'm saying? But that other part, and if you once you start doing it, you go a couple of days without doing, you can see how you begin to get scattered. Like things just can affect you emotionally a lot more than you want it to. So I 100%.
For me, it's my libido, me in bed with again, I'm 55, knock on wood. I don't have to take a little blue pill. I'm good. I'm good.
Good shit.
But the more I work out, I'm tearing her up.
Yeah.
I'm tearing her up. Now, it's only about 45 seconds to a minute, but that's okay. She still says she loves it.
That's what's up.
But the sexual health, which is a huge part of a relationship, is to have that sexual compatibility. When I work out, my libido is through the roof.
Testosterone's up.
Testosterone's up.
Your life force energy, like that prana, like that's up. You know what I'm saying? You need all that. You know what I mean?
And that's, to me, that's what I love. Because I mean, I am head over heels in love with my woman, but I'm even more. I'm looking at her like those Looney Tunes cartoons where there's like a piece of meat.
Like the wolf, right?
Yes. Like Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner. Or Roadrunner Coyote.
Coyote, yeah.
But I'm like, but that's all comes from just going to the gym 2 hours, getting at it, doing some cardio, like just getting going and doing stuff. It's forward momentum.
Absolutely.
Just keep moving. Just keep moving. You know?
Yeah.
It is something that it's so easy to sit home.
Yeah.
It's so easy to sit home.
If you've made your space enjoyable and comfortable for yourself, it's definitely easy to just, I'm good. I can just sit here all day. Yeah.
It's bananas. So talk to me about now for you. Are you taking on clients now? Are you full? Is it something that do you do it? Is it digital that people, do stuff through emails and through videos and YouTube and all that? Or are you working out with them here? Or how does that work out?
Okay. So for the most part, it's online training. So a lot of guys, so I have some guys who compete and I have some guys who are just lifestyle. I have a few clients who actually live in Vegas, so I'll try to get with them at least once a week to do an actual in-person training session with them and just kind of chop it up with them. But for the most part, it's online. I have an app that we correspond through. They'll send check-ins and then I'm able to kind of give them, in the little chat section, I'll kind of give them breathwork exercise to do. I'll give them Tritaka, things like that, just a different modality they can start to try and implement into their routine. Am I taking on more clients? I do want to take on a few more, but I'm very mindful of if I can give everyone the proper amount of attention. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially when it comes to clients who compete. Clients who compete, they require so much more attention. And especially when it gets down to that 5 week, 6 week, they're hitting you up for everything. Hey, do I do this? Do I do that? And I understand that because that's what I needed as well. So I do want to take on more clients. Lifestyle clients are a little easier to kind of manage right now. But the books are open. But I'm still not taking everyone.
Which is such a great place to be at.
For sure.
Because it makes your brand more exclusive. It makes you more exclusive.
Yeah.
No is a powerful word.
For sure.
Right? No is such a powerful word.
Yeah.
And I tell people that aren't from Vegas, it's just because you live in Vegas doesn't mean that prostitution is not legal. In Las Vegas. No one knows that. Go to Pahrump and find a single wide trailer. That's where the chicken ranch is.
Yeah.
Go, get out of here. It's not here. So I'm not going to say yes to everybody.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm not going to be your whore. I'm not going to be that for you.
Yeah.
And that makes, when that gets around, that you say no to certain people, it actually is the best thing for your brand growth.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's the exclusive. People know they have to like come correct.
Especially when the person you said no to is a motherfucker, and everyone knows he's a motherfucker, or her. We won't discriminate.
Yeah.
And when that gets around, like, oh, well, Kai won't work with him. I wouldn't work with him either. I got to talk to Kai.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll work with me. Like it's pretty cool.
Yes.
When you're at that level. So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For that. And again, Young for Life is a sponsor. It's how we met. David's amazing.
Good guy.
Like
Good guy.
a just salt of the earth man.
Yeah.
He's just a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, one of my most viral videos was, where's the best place to find a hooker at the Wynn?
Wait, did I see him on this podcast talking about that?
Yes, you did.
That was a little while ago,
yes,
but I remember that.
It was about a year and a half ago, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, the B bar, back rock bar. That's where you go. That's where all the hookers are. They're lined, all the call girls are lined right up.
All right.
Like, oh, shit. Okay, well, very good. Thank you, David.
How do you know this?
Yeah,
but
he knows. You know, he was inside security. You know, high level stuff for them for years.
Oh yeah, I think when I first met him, he was working at the Wynn, right, for doing the
Wynn
security
Encore,
stuff. Yes,
and he was doing like emergency response team stuff, like tactical stuff.
Gotcha.
So he wasn't like normal security holding a girl's hair while she's puking in the trash can by the craps tables.
Yes.
This was like, if there's high level shit going on, they brought him in.
Yeah.
Like stuff in the rooms, everything else.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Was like, you know.
And that's why he would know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He was very good. Like he didn't allude to anything, but it was like you just knew.
Yeah.
You just knew. And he's just a good man.
Absolutely.
And the thing that I'm now looking into, because my goal is take off some weight, get some more muscle mass, get lean, and then look at peptides.
That's smart. You're doing it that way. You're learning, you're building that discipline base to just get it done yourself, and then you can add. And so you know you already have that. You know what I mean? I like that.
I just, for me, it was, and I learned this. I played Division III football back in upstate St. John Fisher College, in Rochester, New York. This is back in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah.
So everybody was juicing. I didn't, but all my friends were juicing, which is hilarious. Winstrel V, Nectar of the Gods.
Okay.
Everybody said Winstrel V was it.
Yeah.
And so go St. John Fisher College. And so, but all my friends said that did it, they said, you need to work out and get in the best possible shape you can get into. Then you go ahead and look at pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Because then you can actually reap the benefits the best way. You know what I'm saying? It's instead of like having to like, because if you take them before you do that, they probably won't work for you as well. You won't think they're like useful, but they are if you put the work in.
Right? So just put the work in. I'm talking a good friend of mine now, Nick Best, world's strongest man. He's 56 years old and still one of the strongest men in the world.
That's crazy.
And he was on the pod over at Range 702 a couple weeks ago, and he was saying, he's like, Jeff, now with peptides, I can keep doing what I'm doing for years. For years. He's 56. He looks like he's 45, 44.
Yeah.
Like he looks great. But he said, he goes, it's just, basic stuff that you can get now from places like Young for Life and they're just, again, I'm pimping them out because they're a sponsor, but also they're good. They're it's just, and David is just, and he's tip of the spear over there. He's the guy. He gives a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He just
gives you shit. If you go over there and spend a half an hour with him as people are coming in to pick up their stuff or get blood work done or whatever, how he cares. And he doesn't look at you as just another person or a body.
Yeah.
He cares about who you are and where are you at.
Yes.
And are you competing or are you just working out or are you just starting?
He's had conversation with me and like for him to care so much about like kind of where my career is going, like, hey, we know if we just get the proper like stack or whatever, we know that you can like be Miss Olympia because like you have all the potential for like the fact that he kind of pulled me aside and was talking that and speaking to me about how he just wants to like help me get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's dope. And we weren't even talking about that. He just took an interest. You know what I'm saying? So I do appreciate that.
It's something that's something you're born with.
For sure.
I think to care at that level.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, that heart has to be born in you. You know what I'm saying?
You have to have it inside you, my friend. You can't be trained to care for someone at that level.
For sure.
Right?
I get that.
You just can't. Like it's something that when I've gone in there several times and I like to observe and watch people.
Okay.
And people coming in, guys, girls, all different shapes and sizes and ages and colors and everything. He loves all of them.
Yeah.
He sincerely cares.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Like for anybody that's looking, and that's why I tell anybody, any sponsor I have or that I talk to, I have to believe in what they're offering. I have to. I'm not just going to take their money.
Yeah.
And we talked for a while before we decided to do this. And I was like, okay.
Just to feel him out and to really get a sense of who he is.
And vice versa. I want him to feel me out as well.
Yeah.
He was on the podcast, he didn't become a sponsor until like a year later.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You know,
that's how long. We always stayed in touch. And I mean, his clips were hilarious.
Yeah.
The stuff he talked about. There's one clip that also did pretty well about how the 911 dispatchers are having affairs with the road patrol, like the sheriffs and the cops on the road. Because there's some type of connection they have there.
Yeah,
and so
I can see that.
The biggest like affairs that happen in law enforcement are the cops, the dispatch, and the cops in the cars.
I can see how that would work. It's like
wild.
They're like your guardian, like overwatching you, so you feel like this kind of safety. And like, yeah, I get it. I get it.
You hear the tone of their voice, and they're talking you through this, and then if you meet them and they look halfway decent, you're like, oh. And
then you're talking to them on a consistent basis, so you start building that little rapport with them, like having little inside jokes.
Yes.
I can see how that would develop.
And you start flirting, and then the whole thing happens. So yeah, he was really good.
Yeah,
like the insights. And then before Trump came in, when there was there was a Venezuelan gang that was in Aurora, Colorado.
Okay,
that was like taking over like an apartment complex, Tren de Aragua, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Aurora's a shithole," because he was in Colorado as a cop.
Gotcha. Okay,
and I'm like, dude. He goes, "Oh no, that's all true. Like it's that bad there."
Yeah,
the cops are getting like overrun. I'm like, "Oh my god!" But it was anyways.
Insane. That's insane.
It's bananas. Let's get back to you. Jesus Christ,
it's all good.
All right, David. We just had a fucking infomercial for you for 5 minutes.
That's a plug.
Jesus Christ, that's a giant goddamn plug. What advice do you find yourself consistently giving to your clients or to friends who are trying to get fit or maintain where they're at?
Okay, so this advice that I'm giving, that I find myself giving on a consistent basis, is not so much about fitness. It's more for like their energetic fitness. And for me, it's develop a practice. Develop a practice. Like in the morning, it could be a combination of yoga and breath work, or doing your vowels, or what. It could be a combination of all these things, but find what practice that you can do in the morning that's going to like ground you, and find something and stick with that. Like, and that's what I feel like I'm telling people the most. When it comes to like fitness, I feel like the people who come to me for fitness, they're kind of already like started in it. There's not a lot of people who haven't began yet, reaching out to me. But for fitness, it's just consistency. Like that's what I keep telling people. But also like when it comes to advice that I find myself giving out more recently right now, is finding a practice and sticking with it.
Where can people, what's the easiest path for people to find a morning routine? Like, is there an app or a website or something? And what should they be looking for yoga or for breath work or whatever?
Is there a particular app? No. I feel like ChatGPT can be helpful if you're just kind of looking for something just to start. I think to begin, just worry about your chakra system, like your energy centers, because that's gonna be where all the things kind of derive from. If you can find something that's gonna help align your chakras in the morning, I think that's probably the most important thing you can do. And for that, you can go into ChatGPT. You can like Google something to see what things you can do to like align your chakra, because there's a bunch of different ways to do it. You can do vowels, you can do breath work, you can do yoga, but find something that's going to align your chakras.
What do you do to align your chakras?
So for me, I have a yoga practice that I do, but it's something called toning your vowels. So all our vowels, like the A-E-I-O-U, those are like sounds, and those are primordial sounds that correspond with different parts of our body. So starting with the U down to root chakra, like that sound is ooh. So for me, I vibrate my chakras with using the vowel sounds. So U, O for your sacral chakra, the A-W, that's for your solar plexus, A is for your heart, and then for your throat, it's going to be ooh, like U-H sound, the sound that makes, and then for your third eye, that's going to be E, and for your crown, that'll be like the E sound and the word less. So so that's what I do. Like that's something that, like, again, I'm big into music, so I feel like the thing that I kind of was drawn to initially was sound. So like that's how I align my chakras in the morning.
That's awesome.
It's and to like to uncover why these things are things. Like we all understand, we learn vowels when we're like in pre-K, you know what I'm saying? Or just in school, vowels and consonants, and to understand where these come from and why we need vowels inside words and what it all is, like to see like the mystery underneath all this shit. Like that's what's dope to me. And like to actually kind of like pinpoint it and then be able to use it every day, I can see the power in it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm proud to welcome Young for Life Wellness as Fargo Talks' newest sponsor. Hey, can you guess who isn't the fitness influencer?
When did you begin doing this, and when did you start seeing results in terms of happiness and being centered?
When I started to do this more on a regular basis, I feel like it was. I know last year I took the year off from bodybuilding to like dive into my yoga practice and like do it on a consistent basis. I think maybe before then I was doing my chakras or doing my vowels, but it wasn't like every day. I feel like I started doing it like a year and a half now, and that's every day. But I was drawn to that information a couple years ago. Like I got a book, it's called Magical Sounds or something like that, but it goes into like music and like the spiritual aspect of music and so many different, there's like how poems have it. Poems have a energetic benefit. Even like songs that we hear, our what is it? You know, a lot like the what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of the jingles that we hear, a lot of the we grew up hearing, those have like power to them. You know what I'm saying? Understanding like all the notes in the musical scale and like seeing what those are and what they correspond to like the astrological signs. Like, and that book has so much information in it, and I felt like it took me going back to that book constantly to kind of like break it down, and I'm still breaking it down. But like a couple years ago, drawn to that.
And then how do you transcend, or how do you connect the breath work, the yoga, the chakras into actual physical, then going into the gym?
I know that, okay, so there's something called dragon's breath, right? And dragon's breath is like supposed to vitalize you. It cleanses your aura, but it also fills your body up with prana. Like that's something I'm doing every day. When I go to the gym, you can feel that you have more power, like more oomph in the gym. So that's something that I know to do every day. I just know when I don't do these things, how I feel, how I perform. And like that's kind of all you need to realize, okay, this shit works, there's benefit to this. So when I don't do it, I know how I feel. And when I do it, I know how I feel. And just there's a difference, a significant difference.
It's something that habits.
Yes.
Habits.
Absolutely.
Habits.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like takes 21 days or something to form a habit. You just keep going. You know, my daughter and I now, a little over a year, we've been messing around in the gym.
Yeah.
We're going on vacation to upstate, and we're going to Canandaigua Lake next week for 10 days.
Where's that at?
About 30 minutes south of Rochester.
Oh, you guys are traveling over to the East Coast. Yep. Gotcha. Okay.
So we're flying nonstop right here into Rochester.
Yeah.
We're staying in Canandaigua, and my daughter's like, well, we need to do something to exercise, Dad.
Okay.
And I said, well, honey, my best friend Sean goes for a walk along the north shore of the lake. There's a park. He walks 4 miles almost every morning.
Okay.
We've already committed to walk with him in the mornings.
Nice. Okay. And you can't flake. This is something that's his habit. So you definitely can't flake.
Thing.
Yeah.
And we've committed that we're going to join him as much as we can. We're going to do that. The place we're staying at is a 25-acre estate, basically, that my friends own, giant farmhouse. It's on a hill it's sitting up overlooking the lake.
Yeah.
Well, it's on a hill. So we're going to spend a half an hour to 45 minutes walking up the hill and walking down.
That'll do it.
Walking up the hill and walking down. And my son is going to bitch and moan. He's 9. I don't fucking care. I'm Gen X. I don't fucking care. Walk up the goddamn hill, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he'll do it. He's a good kid. But it's
he might enjoy it.
And that's the thing. It's just the sun is shining. You're getting the breeze off the lake. It's just better there.
You're getting a view. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kai, it's I say it's the city mice going to see the country mice.
Yeah.
Whenever we go to upstate New York, you know, but it's things like that we've already developed a habit of going to the gym. When I leave here today, gonna go get my kids. We're gonna go to the gym and work out.
That's good.
And so we don't want to stop doing that. You know, because it's something that once you get going, you enjoy it. And if you take time off, you just don't feel right.
Absolutely not.
Right?
I was going to mention the practice that I developed and I have right now. Sometimes you can get a little arrogant, you get a little cocky, like, okay, this is just me. You kind of reach this, like your aura's booming, you're walking around, you feel like you can handle yourself really well, but then you think that it's just you. And it can be just you, but if you go a couple days without doing it and realize that you have to maintain that connection, you'll have a couple days where you feel good, and then that day hits where it's like, oh shit, I don't feel as good as I was before. I'm not as intentional. I'm not as effective as I used to be. So I know I have to like get back to my practice. So sometimes you can get a little arrogant and think that it's just you, but you have to maintain these things for sure.
It's something that if you want to live a long, healthy life, if you stretch, if you maintain inner peace, your chakras, and if you do, especially as you get older for bone density.
For sure, yes.
You've got to work out. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Just at my age, I have to.
Yeah.
And I'm not benching 315 anymore for reps. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care. I don't care. My right? I mean, my ego is gone. But I have more fun with my daughter that I'm teaching her proper form. Because I played football and lacrosse growing up, so it worked out forever. Yeah. So I know the exercises, I know the movements. And so to watch her intensity.
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. It's in her genetics too now. You know what I mean? It's in her genetics as well.
That is something that I can't put a price on.
Yeah.
To watch her, and if I'm helping her with her last 2 sets, so she's doing negatives.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and she's still locked in, like she's connecting with them like that.
Fucking locked the fuck in.
That'll make you proud for sure.
And when we first started doing this a while ago, she would like stop and ask me questions. I go, no, honey.
Yeah.
Once you begin, you cannot stop.
Yeah.
And if you say you're going to do, like I've got her doing 12s and 15s, that's it. She's doing high reps of everything, 4 to 5 sets. I said, if you say you're going to do 15, you're doing fucking 15.
Yeah.
I have to help you with the last 3 or 4. I'll help you. I'm here for you. I'm off my phone. I'm with her doing our thing. But it's such an amazing thing to be a dad and to be able to give that back to my daughter and just teach her proper form. And now she loves it. And she looks great.
Yeah.
Like she's 15 and she's just like, she's losing her baby fat. She's getting harder.
Yeah.
And I see it affect her confidence.
Oh, for sure.
Because
for sure.
Now it's like, and again, I give 0 fucks. Like, I'm in not that great of shape, but when we're in the gym, I don't care. I fucking walk around that place like I own it. Don't care. And she's my little fucking co-pilot.
Yeah.
She's right next to me doing the same swagger. I'm like, fuck yeah, honey.
And she's earning that for herself. You know what I mean? Like she has it because she's around you, so the energy's rubbing off, but she's developing that for herself because she knows how she works. Like that.
Which is all I want. I parent every day like it's my last. I get hit by a bus tomorrow. Yeah. I know I was a good dad to my kids.
That's what's up.
I'm trying to teach that, to instill that into her. And the cool part is my son is 9. He keeps that, when can I work out? When can I? And like, honey, I'll be 13. Yeah. To go into the gym. So you got a few more years, but he wants to do it.
Gotcha. Okay. He's like waiting in the wing. You know what I mean?
He's chomping at the bit to work out. But but between his mom and I, we co-parent well. He's almost every day on the treadmill, going for walks, or we're doing stuff, or go to the pool and play in the pool for an hour. Yeah. And just do stuff there. But it's physical activity. Just stay moving because it is so easy. Pick up this goddamn thing.
And like that shit just.
And next thing you know, it's 11 o'clock at night. And you're like, what just happened to my day? Yeah. Is gone because I'm on the goddamn phone looking at other people's shit of them bullshitting about their lives.
Real
with their
shit.
fake followers and with their rented Lamborghinis and acting like that they're all this, and you're like, oh, please. Yeah. Bitch, please. It is not. You are in no way, shape, or form as happy as you're acting out to be.
Indeed.
Indeed. The people I like to follow are people that are humble, they're transparent, and they're okay with talking about when they're not okay. I'm very open with stuff here. Yeah. And I've told my kids, I'll never lie to you.
That's a fucking, I think people don't realize like the power in just telling the truth and being honest. Like that connects you to your higher power. Cause like your higher power only understands truth. You know what I'm saying? So if you walk your life and you align yourself with truth and make that a non-negotiable for yourself, like that, I feel like that increases your vibration so much as well.
Right? Yeah. So how are you, I mean, I know you're an honest guy. Yeah. You're great. It's how do you approach that in a tactful way with your clients? Like to motivate them, or if they're just not doing something correctly, how do you, staying honest? Yeah. How do you approach that?
I feel like I go by what I actually see. So I feel like there's one client that I have in particular. I feel like his physique is there. I feel like he should gain some more size. I feel like the proportions are there, but I know that they're going to want like a bigger chest. And he's asking like, do you think I'm ready? I'm like, I think that we can get a second place and we can like get your pro card. But I feel like if we take some more time, it's going to just put you in a better position to like not even have to wonder about that. So for me, I can be honest with you and just tell you what I see. And I feel like a lot of my clients are receptive to it. But yeah, I just tell you what I see. I try not to be a dick about it because there's no point of being a dick. I'm trying to help you. And I know that you're putting the work in. So it's easy to kind of like give them the honest truth about things.
It's almost like they're your kids.
A little bit. When it comes to this level, you get like, okay, take an Epsom salt bath here these days. Like it is like that. It is very much like that.
It's like you're their dad. Seriously. Seriously. Because a lot of times they don't make a move without talking with you. And you're like, okay, look, you can do this. You're there to motivate them. It's also because you already have the experience.
Yes.
Right? Like you walk the walk. And so that's the part where you come from a position of strength, but also you also give a shit.
Yeah.
And you care about them.
Because I can empathize with the emotions you might be going through. We're different people, different walks of life, but I can empathize with the emotions for the most part of what you're feeling at this point in time in this process. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's something that, but you have to be so good with how you carry yourself because, again, it's like spanking your kids. I spank my kids a few times. It never works.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. To smack your kids around, it doesn't work. And so, but to speak with them when you're not happy with them or if they misbehave or do something wrong, that's the way to do it. Absolutely. Is to talk to them. I've taught my daughter. I've said, honey, when you're talking with somebody and if it gets heated, the first person to lose their temper loses.
For sure.
Every time.
Like that emotional regulation, like that shit is important. And I understand it's easy to let yourself just like respond to what you're feeling at the time, but that shows the sign of like growth if you can catch yourself. You know what I mean? And teaching that to your kids early is important.
When you get upset and lose your temper, you're giving up.
For sure.
You're giving up.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm sure you've got clients in the past, they just want to wring their necks, but you can't do that.
Yeah.
And you got to pause, like, hey, look, you're not supposed to do it this way, and you can't eat, this much at this level.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help your growth, and it's not going to meet your goals that we established in the beginning. So I think it is your job a lot of times herding kittens that you've just got this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, and trying to all get them back to center.
It can be like that. I feel like because I'm so big on making sure like they're taking care of like their energy, I feel like the guys that I have right now, obviously when they first begin with me, making sure they stay on it. And even right now, just I can sometimes just tell when someone hasn't been like on their breath work and aligning their chakras because they just seem a little more scattered. They seem a little more frustrated. I can just kind of tell by like how they're posting, where their mind's at. So like that part and like driving that point home because it's not going to be as important to everyone starting off because it's something important. It's important to me, and I know for a lot of people it's the physical part. They want to make sure their body looks the part. They're ready, like they're conditioned. But making sure like, hey, you did the practice today. Hey, like have you done get your breath work? And just making sure that they stick with that part because I can feel when they're not on in that way. You know what I'm saying? So it can be like that when it comes to that portion. I feel like I'm lucky enough to the people who are drawn to me have a certain kind of mindset. So I've been lucky in that regard.
What's the biggest win that you can celebrate in your life right now?
The biggest win? Okay, right now it would be to turn someone pro. Like I want to turn a client pro just because I just know what that would mean for them. Like it's a goal they set out and they accomplish it. Like that'd be a really big win for me right now.
Do you have any clients that have that potential?
I have a few. I have a few actually. Like I have one who's competing at USA's in a few weeks. I think he has the potential. I can tell he has the drive. Like his physique is there. Just want to like tad bit more size. That could be an issue, but we're gonna focus on conditioning. But I feel like his back is like insane. His back is already pro level. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm excited for him. He can definitely go pro. There's another guy who's competing on the 19th, and if he does well there, he'll roll into USA's. But I have a few guys, and if I get them to go pro like that it'd be a validation for me to one degree. But also like I know how good like they'll feel about it, and I know how good I felt about it. Like to set that goal out, become a professional athlete is something that you chose.
Everybody loves a comeback story.
For sure.
Like look at Rocky.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a freaking comeback story.
Yeah.
What's your biggest comeback story of yourself or one of your clients?
Okay. I can shift it to myself right now. I feel like me not competing for the past year and a half, I have some people hit me like, hey, when you compete again? And I've had a plan of like when I want to hop back in. I like to align my actions with other energies that I know could like either empower what I'm doing or could take away from what I'm doing. I do look at these things. So like I was going to come back this year, but just kind of like filling it out to see if that's really what I want to do. It's not there yet. And there was also like something that happened. Like I was going to compete maybe back in early May. I bought my pro card. Each year you have to like re-register for your pro card or whatnot. So I got my pro card again, and I signed up for a show to do that was in LA. And typically every other year, if I hand my contract like a day late, they'll still let me into the show. And I handed in my contract a day late this time, and this time they didn't let me into the show. And for me, I was like, okay, if they allow me to enter this show, I'm gonna go on a run. Now, if they don't, that's my sign to fall back and continue what I'm doing. And like that's what happened. So I use these things as like signs from the universal, signs from my higher power, like what I should be doing, especially when I'm trying to like figure out what the next move is for me. So like that happened. So it let me know that I should like stick with my initial plan and just like continue building my team, can continue working on my business, and then come back next year. And I feel like the way I show up next year will be a great comeback story. You know what I'm saying?
I love that, and this is something with at every elite person, anybody I know that's operating at an elite level, whether it's fitness or finance or business or parenting or whatever, but they go above and beyond the basics.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just eating a lot of chicken and rice and egg whites or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And getting to the gym every day. It's stretching.
Oh,
it's your breath work.
Yes.
It's getting your chakras in alignment. Like, the fuck would have told Arnold Schwarzenegger in Muscle Beach back in the 70s with Franco Columbo to get your chakras aligned?
Yeah.
He'd say, fuck you. You know? But that's now, like, it's almost like in golf. Tiger Woods was the first one that I saw that was just where he was working out.
Yeah, gotcha.
Most of those guys were like John Daly, like smoking cigarettes, drinking Diet Coke.
They knew they had a skill set to hit that ball, but they weren't like putting the energy into like make sure they're an athlete. You know what I mean?
To the next level, so they could perform at that level every week in a golf tournament.
Yeah.
And that's why Woods has, won so many tournaments, is that he was at such another level. And I guarantee he was doing breath work and yoga.
I'm sure.
Right?
I'm sure. I even feel like some of the old school bodybuilders were tapped into that. Like maybe they didn't have the same like look to it or the same energy around it that it does now, but they're probably stretching and they understand that they have to stretch and like be conscious of their breath. So I feel like a lot of those old school bodybuilders were tapped into that for sure. Maybe not Arnold, but I feel like a lot of those old school bodybuilders were.
You just now do you know of, I guess, of the other pro bodybuilders that you know, what percentage of them are doing breath work and yoga and stretching and everything?
I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it's becoming more common now. People are catching on, but for people who like take it serious like that, I don't know too many. I know there are some guys who take it seriously, but not a lot right now.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah,
because it's
like you gotta see what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
brother, this is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's not about like. All right, when you're competing, how many shows are there a year that you're doing?
That changes from year to year. So like, I know when I first got on the circuit, that 2017, I had done I got my pro card, then I did that one pro show, then I qualified for the Olympia, I did the Olympia. That next year, because I felt like I didn't do well at my first Olympia, I got like 16th, I was like the third call out or something like that, like super last place, you know what I'm saying? So that 2018 year, I just went ham. I think I did like 6 shows and like 6 shows, and then the following year, I maybe did like 4. And then as the time progressed, as I kind of established myself in the sport, I had to do less shows. I only needed to do less shows. So like it definitely changed throughout the years. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. That you go out and get your ass kicked. And then, I mean, there's your comeback. Is you're like, God damn it, I'm going to do every show I can possibly get to.
Yeah.
Right. And then you start doing better at those shows, so you start going to less shows because then you have more focus.
Yes.
For larger shows.
Yes.
Right. So it's like, oh my God. Like talk about a comeback story. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, you have to build that momentum. You have to build like that credibility and just like that momentum to like how impactful you are when you hit the stage. And I think that's what I had to do coming up. You know what I'm saying?
I want to ask you a personal question. You can tell me to fuck off if you want to, and we can edit this thing out, whatever. But
absolutely.
Do you think you'll ever have kids?
I don't.
You'd be a great dad. That's why I'm asking. I'm a dad. And I could just see it in people.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Great dad, Kai.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's something that I think about sometimes. I feel like in my family, just for my last name to continue, I would have to have a kid. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if it's supposed to happen, it's going to happen. It will. We're not taking any steps to stop it, but I feel like when it's supposed to happen, it will. Do I want kids? I feel like Sometimes I do. Sometimes I feel like there's still so much for me to accomplish, and maybe that's selfish, and maybe it comes from like I didn't grow up with my dad. You know what I'm saying? So like there's some. Would I be good at this? Would I have everything it takes to like raise a son or raise a kid in general? You know what I'm saying? So that affects my mind sometimes too. But it's in my mind at times.
You'd be a great dad.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot.
I'm serious. Like you need to breed.
Yeah. That's a good way. That's a dope way to say. Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, my friend. Like I appreciate that. I just think that. How old are you?
I'm 35. 35.
Okay. You're young. Like we had Alex. I was 38, 39.
Oh wow.
When we had my oldest, and then I was in my mid 40s. We had Jack.
Nice.
With their mom. Yeah, and so I love my kids more than anything.
Yeah.
Like it's like my wife, my kids are right there.
Yeah.
But I'm a good dad, and so it's just game recognizes game.
Yeah. I get you.
And I just think that it's something that in imparting wisdom I can give to you is you've done so much. You have so much more you're going to accomplish in your life. You need to pass that knowledge on to someone or some ones that are your blood.
I get you. And that puts in perspective for me, actually.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Right?
And a lot of times I feel like just having someone who depends on you to that degree, it will make you step up. So like whatever shortcomings you think you may have, or like you probably need that motivation to like really step into who you're supposed to become as well. I think about it in those terms as well, but I appreciate that.
It's a true test of a man.
Yeah.
It will teach you patience. You will never love anything else on this planet more than when you see a baby come into this world and you help create that life.
Yeah, like
you know,
you're really getting to see like the magic of this shit right there.
It is. I mean, it's from Lion King. Hold the goddamn kid. It's like it's all that's true.
Yeah,
all that is true, and it's just it's rare. And again, I put you on the spot, so thank you for letting me do that.
Of course.
Thank you for letting me earn the right to do that. But I just think that because you see so many people out there, and like I'll go out to dinner with my wife, and so we'll bring our kids, and you'll see like other parents out with their kids, and all the kids are looking at their iPads or they're on their phones. We don't do that.
Yeah.
We go out. There's no electronics.
And
my kids, their phones are on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
My son Jack is 9. He doesn't have a phone yet.
That's good.
Yeah, we're trying to put that off as long as possible. It's coming.
Yeah.
Might be coming soon. but it's just time is precious because as you get older, I have more time now behind me than in front of me.
Yeah.
Right. And so I just try to impart wisdom upon those that I love, those that I care for. And again, I never get offended by if people are like, dude, I don't want to have kids, go fuck yourself. I never bring a kid in this world, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
but and I had the conversation with friends of mine that I said, well, how is this world going to change if people like you aren't bringing people into it?
I get you. I get you. I get you because there's only so much like you said, time is limited. There's only so much you can do. So like you gotta like
we're
be
ashes
a part.
And dust, brother. We're ashes and dust. 100 years from now, we're gone.
Yeah.
We're here for a grain of sand in the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, so you've got such limited time to be here. And so what are you going to do to make yourself the best you possibly can do, which you have done and are still continue to do in helping others. But then it's, okay, I need to bring my own kin into this world. Like I'm the last Fargo. I'm it. So had a boy.
Okay. So you're the same situation. Okay,
so
nice.
now my son is the one that's going to carry on, carry on the Fargo name.
Yeah.
Which is great. If he wants to have kids, awesome. And I'm parenting him in a way that he'll be a great dad.
Yeah.
He'll be better than me. Because all you can do is hope that, I was in therapy because of my parents. My kids will be in therapy because of me.
Yeah.
I fucking know that.
Yeah, for sure.
But you hope it's less than what I was in therapy for. And you hope to break that cycle. My parents did the best they could, but they were, that generation. I was raised like in the 70s and 80s and 90s. Like, you kidding me? It was like, shut the fuck up and go sit in the car.
Yes.
That was like me from like 7 to like 15.
You know how you're raising your kids differently? Like you don't really you smack you chastise them physically sometimes, but do you think that kind of made you a certain kind of person, like separate from some other people that may be coming up right now? Do you
Absolutely.
think? Yeah. So
great question.
That's something that you'd want to like keep, or that's something that you want to do away with, or do you think that you had to like kind of go to therapy to kind of like unravel those things? You know what I'm saying?
I think, and full disclosure, when they were younger, I'd smack them around or grab them.
Yeah.
I don't anymore now.
Gotcha.
It just
Okay.
doesn't. My daughter would kick my ass probably. She's 15.
Yeah. Like,
you know.
And I trained. You taught me.
We did back and buys yesterday.
Yeah.
She'll fucking kick my ass.
Yeah.
But I think that for me, it's breaking the cycle of whatever. Like all the good things my parents did to raise me, I amplify that.
Gotcha.
All the things that my parents did that I was like, oh, that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
I break that cycle.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's either through therapy or just through me reflecting from who I am and looking at the man in the mirror and saying, what do I have to do to become better, to break that cycle?
Yeah.
And to be a better parent to my kids than my parents were to me.
Yeah. I get you.
And so it's a lot of self-reflection. And it's a very humbling thing to do.
Yeah.
Any man, I think, almost any man goes through a phase where it's ego.
Oh.
And what car am I driving? And what am I wearing? And what jewelry do I have on? And how am I perceived to my fake following of Sri Lankan bots on fucking Instagram? What a horse shit that is. But it's when you get to a point where you've got people depending on you and they're depending on you to, make money for them to survive.
Yeah.
And you'll do whatever it takes for that to happen. At any moment, things can change.
Yeah.
My wife is a hospice nurse.
Oh, wow.
So she's got people
dying,
transitioning, passing away.
Trying to make them feel comfortable in that.
Every month. Every month.
That's a lot to be around. That's a lot to be around.
So we'll to some extent, we talk about it. And because I want to be there for her.
Yeah.
But it gives me more of a perspective, Kai, about life. Because she talks to me all the time about the final words somebody's saying with their kids there. Or the kids don't show up. That's what breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Is the kids that aren't there. They want nothing to do with their parents because of a strained relationship.
Yeah. That's
festered forever. Then that parent passes away and you're never going to be able to make amends with that parent ever. And that often there's deathbed, they're making amends there.
Yeah.
And then they're at peace. But all that time.
You get a bad peace and
that time that you were like, I don't want to talk to them. They insulted me Easter Sunday, 2004. I haven't talked to them since then. Yeah. Because they said that the Raiders suck. Some horse shit. Yeah. Right?
That's what they don't mean. Yeah.
Right? And it's just these stupid things that, because death is final. It's final.
Yeah.
It's the period on the end of your life story. And
for this iteration of you.
For this iteration of you. Well said. Because I'm not a God guy. I respect it, but I was Mormon for 13 years. They fucked me up.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
I believe more of when you die, you go in front of like a committee, like the cantina scene in Star Wars. Right? Where it's just all these different, and it's a quorum, an odd number of people. And like, hey, Jeff, this is what you did right. This is what you did wrong. This is how now you're going to continue your journey.
Okay. I like that thought process.
That's what I think.
We're always moving. We're always going up in that level.
As long as you're not committing like a mortal sin.
Yeah.
If you kill somebody, if you touch a kid, whatever, like that, then you're done. You're going to the worst place ever. And there's that. I think also there's like heck. There's like hell, but then there's heck. Heck is like Vegas in August and you have no AC. It's uncomfortable, but you can bear it. But you're going to bitch the entire time you're there.
And you probably got to like fix what you did. You know what I'm saying?
And you've got to make amends for what you did.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in that there's that. You're fine. You're fine. We're wrapping up soon anyways. We're almost an hour in.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which is hilarious. Because this just goes. The coolest thing about this is that sometimes I have notes. Other times I don't. With this, I go with my gut.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you're a good guy.
Yeah.
And we've met before, and just you're coming from a place of wanting to help people because you've helped yourself so much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so we just have a nice conversation.
For sure. Because there was a time where I needed to find this information, the stuff that I believe in so much of the time that I needed it for sure. You know what I'm saying? So like, I know that it does work. It does balance your energy out. There's also something that I want to like talk about because I was heading out to Reno and like something just like hit me because when it comes to bodybuilding, there's like to understand the energetic weight of everything that you do. And I know in bodybuilding, there's like the gyno surgery. Like people get surgeries and people don't realize that surgeries are rich. I don't know if you believe in this type of thing, but surgeries are rituals. And a ritual basically is just like a certain set of steps that is devoted to something higher. And that's what I see it as. You know what I'm saying? So like people get like surgeries done, like the gyno surgery, but they don't realize like the effects of it has. We have like several bodies. We have like our physical body, etheric body, spirit body, and all that stuff. Like when we get certain things done and we don't do it consciously, we could, if you're doing it and you're not doing it consciously, whatever you're trying to fix could be imprinted on there even deeper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when it comes to like getting a gyno surgery or something like that, like that's because there's like a imbalance in your masculine and feminine energies. So if people don't really look at it as that, they can get the surgery done, and then like their energy is never the same when they get back on stage. And that's something that I felt like compelled to say, because I feel like some people are getting it done because they want to attain a look. So if they're doing it out of shame, then that imprint is now cemented on your etheric body. Yeah. And people, they can't see it physically, but they can feel it. And when you get back on stage, you don't really have that same shine that you used to. You don't have that same quality or essence to your energy that you do. And I feel like people need to look at that, because it's something I see a lot of people getting it done because you don't want to have to worry about it anymore. And it's something that I dealt with. Like I didn't get the surgery done, but it was something holding me back from getting it done. I was like, I feel like I shouldn't like do this. Like I've never had any of the surgeries before, unless like I got stitches before, but that's not like the same. And it's something that was pulling me away from doing it. And then I like did more research, and like that's what I found. It was like when you get surgeries done a lot, even people who I've spoken to, they got surgeries done and like something was just off after it because they had to do it consciously and realize that there's other things that need to be done. Yeah. There's like mental work that emotional work that needs to be done. There's like spiritual work that needs to be done to make sure you're really reconciling the issue. And like that's something that I want to like speak about a little bit. But
that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Is there anything else before we wrap up that we haven't talked about that you wanted to bring up?
As of right now, no. I just think people should, all these different bodies that we have are like, they're intermingled. So we can't do something to one thing without it affecting the other thing. So just keep that in mind. Like the thing that we do physically affect our other bodies, and things that happen to us emotionally affect our physical body. Like you can have certain emotional pains and you're like, why is my knee hurting? Like I haven't hurt my knee, but my knee's just been hurting consistently because there's an emotional thing that's making that thing hurt. You know what I'm saying? So just that. I'm going to make sure my team will tag you on everything. Mm-hmm. So appreciate you. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We'll be sending collab invites out for all the clips that go out. So gotcha. Folks will be able to follow you, to follow your journey, mm-hmm. To really get educated by you. And I think just absorb your energy. Thank you. is fantastic. Appreciate you. So thanks so much for coming in, my friend. Absolutely.